Happy Halloween, everybody. So, this is actually my first live. Okay, so today's episode is dedicated to all you young adults out there who love a good scare. So turn off the lights, grab a blanket, and get ready for the tale of horror that will send shivers down your spine. This is dedicated actually also for Halloween. All y'all getting ready for either trick-or-treating or going out partying. The road into Hollow Creek was barely a road at all, a vein of cracked asphalt winding through miles of cornfields and scale-toothed trees. Wind pressed against the car windows like an invisible tide, the kind that whispered things if you listened too long. Ben had the wheel, his headlights slicing through the fog. In the back seat, Morgan and Tyler were arguing over the playlist, and Lex sat pressed against the window, staring out into the dark. GPS says another 20 minutes, Ben muttered, assuming this thing doesn't just disappear off the map. It's not on the map, Tyler said. That's the point. The Hollow House isn't supposed to be on anything. That's what makes it haunted. Morgan rolled her eyes. It's just a house, Ty. Old, abandoned, probably raccoons and mold. Lex didn't say anything. She was watching the way the fog curled low over the ground, like breath from something sleeping beneath it. They were all 17, seniors, 2 weeks from graduation. This was supposed to be a dare, a thrill before adulthood dragged them down. Hollow House. The kind of place whispered about in cafeteria corners, burned once, rebuilt, then burned again. The family that lived there vanished. Some said it was a murder-suicide. Others said the house itself made them do it. Okay, but why tonight? Lex finally asked. Why not tomorrow when it's not storming? Ben cut in. Because storms make it cooler. Come on, Lex. We'll get pictures, maybe find some weird stuff. Then we're out. 2 hours tops. Lightning flickered far off, the brief flash showing fields that stretched forever, and something else. For a second, Lex swore she saw the silhouette of a house. Too big, too wrong. Then dark swallowed it again. When they found it, it didn't feel like a discovery. It felt like the house had been waiting. The driveway was overgrown, gravel half swallowed by mud. The house rose from the trees like a carcass of wood and rot. 2 stories, a clapped porch, windows like black eyes. Jesus, Morgan breathed. This place is actually scary. Tyler grinned, phone ready up to record. Perfect. They parked under a gnarled oak that looked dead but wasn't. The wind moaned through its hollow branches, almost like speech. Inside, the air was cooler. Their flashlights carved narrow tunnels through dust and hanging webs. Wallpaper peeled like shredding skin. Furniture stood where it had been left decades ago. A table set for dinner, plates crusted with gray residue. Ben clicked his flashlight towards the staircase. Up there's where the dad supposedly... Don't! Lex snapped. She didn't know why. The word just jumped out of her. He raised his hands in mock surrender. All right, all right. They split up, phones recording, flashlights swinging. Every footstep stirred echoes that didn't feel like their own. Morgan found a bedroom with the child's toy chest still open, a cracked porcelain doll inside. She turned it over. Its eyes clicked shut. Then a faint echoed from somewhere behind her. Morgan? Tyler called. She froze. That wasn't you? What? The laugh. They grouped fast, unspoken tension pulling them together. It was just the wind. had to be. Except the wind didn't laugh. They set up in what had once been the living room. Tyler lit a lantern, its glow trembling like a dying heartbeat. Okay, he said, recording. Hollow House Challenge 4 idiots in a haunted house. Let's find some ghosts. Lex sat on the floor, hugging her knees, her flashlight being caught something carved into the wall near the fireplace. Faint, but deliberate. We never left. Hey, she whispered. Come look at this. Ben leaned over her shoulder. Creepy graffiti. Probably from other kids. But the carving was old. The letters were gouged deep, splintered with age. The wind outside rose, and with it came a low from upstairs, like a door slamming or something falling. House settling, Ben said, though his voice was thinner now. They climbed the stairs together, each step complained. The upper hallway stretched into darkness, lined with closed doors. Morgan opened one. Inside was a bedroom. Bed still made, sheets yellowed, mirror cracked. Tyler swept his light across the room. Photos were pinned there on the wall, faded black and white. The family portraits, mother, father, little girl, all smiling. But someone had scratched the faces out. Morgan's voice shook. Maybe we shouldn't. Another door down the hall slammed open by itself. Tyler swung his camera toward it. Did you guys see that? Ben swallowed hard. Draft, just a draft. But the air wasn't moving. The door led to a small study, shelves of books against the wall, the floor warped with water damage. Lex's flashlight caught a single object on the desk, a small hand mirror. Its surface was dark, clouded. When she looked into it, her reflection didn't move. Her chest went cold. Ben, she whispered. Ben, look. He peered over. It's just... The reflection turns its head. Lex dropped the mirror, the glass cracking on impact. Tyler laughed nervously. Okay, that's enough creepy for me. We've got footage. We can... A sound interrupted him, faint with mist, coming from beneath the floorboards. Thump, thump, thump. Is that footsteps? Morgan whispered. They turned off their flashlights. For a moment, the only light came from Tyler's phone. In its glow, Lex saw dust drifting. Then, behind Ben, a shadow moved. Ben, he turned. What? Don't move. The shadow lengthened, stretched up the wall, human-shaped but wrong, its arms too long, its head tilting in a way that bones couldn't. Then it was gone. The silence was worse than any scream. They should have left, but fear does strange things. It roots you. Tyler insisted they keep filming. If something's here, we catch it. Viral gold. Lex wanted to go. Morgan was shaking. Ben said nothing, but just stared down the hallway like he was listening to something only he can hear. Do you hear that? He finally asked. Hear what? Someone calling my name. Lex grabbed his arm. No one's calling anything. We're leaving. But Ben pulled away, following the sound down the stairs and to the basement door. The wood was swollen with moisture. A single rusted padlock hung open, as if somebody had already gone through. He descended without looking back. The others had no choice but to follow. The basement smelled of earth and decay. Water dripped steadily somewhere in the dark. Tyler's phone light caught something scrawled on the wall. Beneath, we sleep. Then his phone flickered and went out. Pitch black. Ben? Morgan whispered. A match flared. Ben had found an old box of them on a shelf. The light wavered over stone steps leading deeper underground. Not a basement, Lex realized. A cellar tunnel. And from the tunnel came a low, slow breathing. Who's down there? Ben called. The breathing stopped, then whispering. Not words, just the sound of somebody whispering your name from inside your own head. Morgan started crying. Please, Ben, please, let's go. The match went out. Darkness folded over them. Something brushed Lex's ankle, cold, wet. Ah! She screamed. They burst out of the basement like survivors crawling out of a grave. Ben slammed the door behind them, chest heaving. What the hell was that? Tyler gasped. No idea, Ben said, voice trembling. But it touched me. Lex grabbed his arm. The skin there was pale, almost frostbitten. Guys, Morgan whispered. Where's the front door? They turned. The entryway was gone. The hallway stretched where the door had been, longer, unfamiliar. The house had shifted. This is impossible, Lex said. Ben turned in a circle. We're lost in a 2-story house. That's not... He stopped. The photos on the wall, they weren't the same. These were color photographs now. Of them. Tyler holding his phone, Morgan by the stairs, Lex at the window, Ben at the door. Each one taken tonight. How? Tyler began. Then the lights came on. Every bulb in the house flared alive at once, bathing the hall in sickly yellow. And, at the end, stood the family from the photographs. Mother, father, little girl. Pale, smiling, their faces unscratched now. The girl tilted her head. You shouldn't have come. Then the lights went out again. They ran, up the stairs, down unfamiliar halls, every door leading somewhere new. The house was folding in on itself. Doors opened into rooms that shouldn't exist. Endless corridors, reflections that moved ahead of them, whispers behind every breath. Tyler stumbled into a bathroom. The mirror was fogged. He wiped it and saw himself grinning back, though he wasn't smiling. The reflection reached out and touched the glass. Okay, that scream kind of really sucked. Tyler screamed as his own hand pulled through it. It dragged into the mirror with a wet snap. His phone clattered to the tile, recording the last image. His wide, terrified eyes. Morgan saw it happen. She ran, sobbing, calling his name until she burst into a bedroom and slammed the door. The room went silent. Then, behind her, a soft voice. We never left. Ben and Lex were the only ones left together. He was trembling, muttering under his breath, It's the house. It's not hunted. It's alive. It's hungry. Lex grabbed his shoulders. We can find a way out. There has to be. She stopped. His eyes weren't focusing. He was staring past her to the wall. Look, he whispered. Her flashlight flickered. The wallpaper was peeling away. Underneath, something moved. Hands, pressed from inside the wall, stretching it like fabric, like skin. Lex backed away, pulling Ben, but he didn't move. His face twisted, not in fear, but wonder. "She's calling me," he said. "Who?" "The girl." He stepped forward, touching the wall. The hands reached for his, and as soon as they met, he was gone. The wallpaper smoothed over, leaving nothing but dust. Lex screamed until her throat tore. The storm outside had turned violent, rain slamming the glass, thunder shaking the floor. Lex ran through the hall after hall until she found a window. She tried to open it, but it wouldn't budge. She grabbed a chair, hurled it. The glass didn't shatter. A reflection in the window blinked. She backed away, panting, eyes wild. "Please," she whispered, "let me out." And the house answered. The door behind her opened with a slow groan. Inside, candlelight flickered. The little girl stood there, holding the cracked mirror from before. "You shouldn't have come," the little girl said again. "It's ours." Lexi spoke. "Where are my friends?" The girl tilted her head. "They're part of it now." Then she held up the mirror. Lexi saw herself, but older, decayed, eyes hollow. The reflection smiled. "No, no," Lex whispered. The girl pressed the mirror into her hands. "Now you stay too." A week later, the sheriff of Hollow Creek found Ben's car abandoned under the oak tree, doors open, keys still in the ignition. Inside the house, they found no one, just dust, broken furniture, and a faint smell of rain. But on the wall, freshly carved, were new words. "We never left. Now neither will you." And on the floor nearby lay a phone, screen cracked, still recording. The final seconds of the video showed the front door, and as the storm raged outside, it slowly, quietly closed itself. So, the end. Thank you for joining us on this live Halloween story at night. Stay tuned for more tales in the next episode of our podcast. And remember, when darkness falls, be careful who or what you let into your house. Good night and pleasant nightmares. How do I get out of here?